What's up, everybody? Thralls of Metal here. I'm Jammin Jon, bringing you my top 40 albums for the year of 2022. First off, I'd just like to say how thankful and honored I am to be a part of this channel and to have all of you guys still tune in and watch. It's been, much like I thought, a really incredible year for metal. Much like I had hoped, it seems like a lot of bands really kind of tried to make the most of possibly the pandemic here, and just wrote some really killer albums. And even picking the top 40 was rather difficult. I probably could have done 50. Now I, unlike Necrotic Nick, while I did jam a bunch of EPs, have included those EPs into my list just to help kind of round out my 40, because although they were EPs, they were a huge part of my listening experience. I'm not going to continue to bullshit here. I'm just going to rather get to it. At number 40, coming in, Goatwhore with Angels Hung from the Arches of Heaven. Take everything you love about Goatwhore and add some grittier vocals, some definitely deeper vocals, and some grimier guitars. You know, we've been fans of Goatwhore for quite some time. Nick and I have seen these guys live countless number of times. But this record really just came out swinging. Especially the song, for me, the very last track, And I Was Delivered from the Wound of Perdition. I think that's my favorite track on this album by far, but I definitely dug the shit out of this album. You should too. Number 39, Sentient Horror with Rites of Gore. Actually, believe it or not, this was kind of a really late comer for me into this list. I somehow forgot about this album. And I was hanging out with Nick a couple months ago, sitting in his car, and he was jamming this album, and I was like, what in the ever-loving hell? I forgot that Sentient Horror released an album. But yeah, for me, that gritty, grimy, slimy guitar tone is enough on its own. Old school death metal and HM2 riffs all day long. This record definitely has your number, and it's waiting for you in the parking lot. That faceless corpse is gonna beat your ass. No, I dig the fuck out of this band. It's number 39 for me. Number 38, Cloudrat with Threshold. I don't want to say I haven't been listening to this band for long, but I haven't been listening to this band for long. This, I think, is my second introduction to Cloudrat. I'm still loving the song 12/22/09. As far as grindcore is concerned, there are definitely a lot of different varying elements in this record. There's some doom at times that I really loved. It is a great listen through and through. I did find that the record was better listened to as a whole instead of trying to really dissect the album, but I enjoyed the intensity of this. I mean, it's grindcore, come on. But definitely a great album. Number 37 on the list, Soulfly with Totem. I think that this is quite possibly the heaviest, angriest Soulfly record there has been yet to date. I was really thinking about the fact, you know, when the first Soulfly came out, it was Max still kind of on the coattails coming off of Roots. I think it still sounded a lot like Sepultura at the time. And then you get into Soulfly 2, and it was new metal. Anyway, and then for a long time I kind of fell off with Soulfly. But Totem came out and whooped my ass. The title track alone, I think, is the heaviest thing that Max has ever done. The overall tone of the record, I thought, was darker. You can tell that Max has had his ear to the underground. And I do want to point out the shirt. This Soulfly shirt was actually given to us by Max when he sent that care package full of the Thralls drum head and all the other wonderful things he sent us. Furthermore, we're on the liner notes of this album, which is fucking insane. I've never been on the liner notes of anything, let alone a Soulfly record. But I definitely thought this record whooped ass. I've listened to this a ton of times. I like the fact that it just seems heftier and darker and more raw. A great release from Soulfly. Number 36, Soreption with Jord. Jord? I don't know. I'm not Swedish. I've just always been a fan of Soreption. Since the very beginning, there's something about meat and potatoes tech death. It's noodly at times, but not really. Mostly this band is just focused on groove. While there's nothing really overly flashy, these songs just jam. All of them. To me, there's not really a bad Soreption record, in my opinion. And I pretty much knew when this came out that I was going to love it. The breakdown on the final song, Jord, I'm not sure, but the breakdown in the final song gets stuck in my head quite a bit. And really, I just love this band. I don't even think I need a reason to say much more. If you're not a Soreption fan, you should be. Yeah, this record is just killer. Number 35, I don't have a physical copy of. Nick doesn't have a physical copy of. We kind of dropped the ball on that one. Svart Crown with Les Trules Brulees. I don't know. Again, my French is terrible. My Swedish is terrible. Fuck. Even my English is terrible at sometimes. But this band just continues to grow on me. Black and death metal, big nods to Gojira, or Gojira makes big nods to Svart Crown. I don't know. As seen in my 2021 album end of the year thing where I said chug and dissonance, I'm gonna say it here, chug and dissonance. But Svart Crown really makes this nice, like, crystal clean atmosphere that I enjoy. While it's dark, just everything is well heard. I like the melodies in this band. As you guys know, black metal's never really been a big, huge thing for me, but it's starting to grow on me. A couple years ago when I found Svart Crown, I really got into it, and I thought this EP was pretty nice. I love the track Open Heart, but really all of them, everything, and it's just an EP, but god damn it, I love Svart Crown, and that's all I've got to say on that forefront. Number 34. This was the first I'd heard of this band, Conan, with Evidence of Immortality. Who likes to get baked and listen to nasty stoner doom? Me. At 50 minutes, you've got a lot to work with. Post-hardcore vocals with just a very dark batch of pummeling grooves through and through. It was a no-brainer for this stoner to really dig this band and this album. I just love how hefty and nasty this record is. And something about the addition of the post-hardcore vocals in with all this hefty nastiness just really drove it home for me. Ritual of Anonymity, Righteous Alliance, and Grief Sequence. And again, for 50 minutes and 6 songs, that's a pretty hefty album. So, yeah, I dug it. I'm going to continue to dig it. I'm going to definitely be listening to a lot more of this band. But yeah, number 34. Coming in at number 33 is Wake with Thought from Descent. To me, sometimes chaos is acceptable when it's ulceratish. While this album seems to be more of a stream of consciousness and less like devouring ruin, I found myself really able to zone out to this band, yet have fun because the drum work on here is fucking insane. Yeah, you want to just make drony tremolo riffs all day? That's cool. It was great to zone out to, but the drum work in here is just phenomenally nasty. And it's what brought me back to this record over and over and over again. I know these guys are about to go on tour here soon, and I think we're going to see them finally. But yeah, dug the fuck out of this record. Again, the drum work, nasty. Coming in at number 32, Decapitated with Cancer Culture. I've been a Decapitated fan from the very beginning, and after Organic Hallucinations, after VTech died, I thought, well, this should be interesting. All the Decapitated, in my opinion, after VTech died, was still good, but it didn't quite match up to the standard of those first 4 records from this band. And so I kind of fell out of Decapitated for a while. But then this record comes along, and it just reminded me of old school Decapitated. Everything I love is back in at play. Hefty, nasty death metal riffs, very speedy, syncopated drums. The song with Tatiana from Ginger, Hello Death, is just a nasty song. But overall, I've just missed Decapitated. I've missed old school Decapitated, and that's what this record had. And it was just kind of like a welcome back. To me, this is what should have followed Organic Hallucinations. It wasn't, but it's what should have followed it. And welcome back, Decapitated. As I Know You, this is such a killer album. If you guys haven't jammed this, you're missing out. Coming in at number 31, Crowbar with Zero and Below. I'm just gonna say it. It's Crowbar. Crowbar has this formula that they've been using record after record, year after year. just hefty meat and taters, fucking doomy metal. God, I love all the sludge. There were a lot of nods to old school Crowbar in here. This record specifically reminded me of like Time Heals Nothing and the self-titled and Broken Glass and just, we're gonna rank Crowbar soon and you're gonna see exactly how I feel about Crowbar. But this is such a good addition to the Crowbar repertoire, as you will. Hefty meat and taters, all the things I love about Crowbar are in this record. Yeah, Confess to Nothing, The Fear That Blinds You, Reanimating a Lie, Zero and Below, all of it. I love Crowbar. I will always love Crowbar. This is such a good record. Coming in at number 30, the band that I'm probably gonna fuck up the pronunciation of, Tzompantili, something? God damn it. I don't know how to pronounce this. I definitely don't know how to pronounce the name of this album, and I definitely don't know how to pronounce the songs. But, although I can't hardly pronounce anything, who doesn't like nasty, evil death metal breakdowns? They are jam-packed all over this record. This record hates you. All of this record hates you. The riffs and the vocals are sung and played by Satan himself. Everything on this record is so filthy it makes Pigpen look clean. Yeah, Nick showed me this album. I fell in love with it immediately. When somebody says, hey, I want a really heavy riff, or hey, I want to listen to a really hefty death metal band, this should be at the top of your list. This should be what comes to mind when you want to hear hefty, nasty, filthy yuckiness. That's Tzompantili. I fucked it up, but yeah, I can't pronounce any of it. But it's heavy and I love it. Coming in at number 29, Undeath with It's Time to Rise from the Grave. Somehow, this record skipped over my ears as well. I knew it came out. I don't think I got a chance to review it. In fact, I'm almost certain I didn't get a chance to review it because work sucked and well, I'm no longer stuck on third shift, so now I have more time for things. But yeah, another young, hungry band continuing to pave the way for bringing back old school death metal riffs. Filthy death metal with a New York hardcore fuck you attitude. That's what Undeath is, and that's what they continue to do. Angry, evil. I've always been a fan of Undeath. I continue to like these guys. The riffs are sicker than influenza, and I've had the flu, I'm sure, at least once this year. I might still be battling it now. If I sound all nasally and Billy Corriganish, it's probably because I'm battling influenza. But this record is sicker than that. I'm holding in my hands something that a flu shot cannot cure. The sickness of nasty Undeath riffs. Definitely go check out this record if you've never heard this band. This was number 29 for me. Number 28. This seems to be the year for first dances. This is my first dance with this band, Strigoi with Viscera. The vocals in here sound so incredibly evil. The production is clear and crisp, yet the atmosphere is so bleak and so dark and so evil, yet oddly uplifting at times. You know, again, I continue to dance with black metal, and black and death metal seems to be the way that I'm going. I really, really enjoyed, you know me, big beefy chugs. I love big beefy chugs. They should make a Taco Bell burrito called Big Beefy Chugs. On the commercial, they should just have this band standing in the background with the Big Beefy Chug burrito, because that's these guys. The mix of black metal, sludge, and doom just seems to be perfection for me. Go back and watch our review for this. I know I spoke more in depth, but I'm just gonna say that these guys definitely stuck with me in my mind, and I always went back to this record, and I just loved immersing myself in the dark bleakness, the bleak darkness of this record. Yeah. I dug it. I love it. I'm going to continue listening to it. I think Nick said that I need to go back and listen to some records before it, so I'm probably going to do that. But I really enjoyed this album, especially Byzantine Tragedy. Love that song. Number 27, Fleshrot with Unburied Corpse. This again joins the rank of, hey, you want to listen to something heavy? You like stank-faced sour lemons? You want grime and filth? Fleshrot. This is the go-to band for that. This is on my list of super heavy things that I would jam for somebody looking for something super heavy. Again, super like meat and taters, but definitely falls in the vein of, say, Frozen Soul, even Bolt Thrower. It's just a band that likes heft and groove. Who doesn't like that? I definitely like that. When you just want simple and heavy, Fleshrot is the way to go for that. Also, my first dance with this band, I think I had them mixed up with Fleshrot, which is not what these guys are. Fleshrot in this case. So yeah, this one surprised me. I loved it, loved every second of it, and I continue to jam it. My girlfriend even likes this band. So yeah, ladies, if you're watching and you want something heavy, Fleshrot is for you. Unburied Corpse. And coming in at number 26, Spiritworld with Deathwestern. Alright, first of all, have any of you guys ever seen this band? Nick and I went and saw these guys with Tribal Gaze in Detroit. When these dudes came out on the stage dressed in rhinestone cowboy jackets and hats, I was a little shocked. But if you like really high energy, super fun thrash riffs, this band is definitely a go-to for this one. Although I really liked their first album, of course I saw the video for Deathwestern. If you guys haven't watched the video for Deathwestern online, it is fucking incredible. But these guys have a super good time. They are fun. These riffs, this record is non-stop. Non-stop riffs, in your face, just vicious as all get out. It doesn't let up from track to track. And if you've listened to the first record and you thought the first record was heavy, you're dead wrong, because Committee of Buzzards, Moonlit Torture, Crucified Heathen Scum, and if you ever get a chance to see these guys live, I highly recommend it. This record whoops ass, and even though it came out, only earlier this month, I've jammed this every single day since it came out. I love this album. It's constantly on my playlist. It should be constantly on yours. And the only reason it's number 26 for me is because they waited all the way till December to put it out. If they would have released this at the beginning of the year, I guarantee you it would have been higher on the list. So yeah, Spiritworld, great fucking job. Please keep it coming. That brings us to the end of number 40 through 26. So if you like what you saw, please hit the like and subscribe button. All the jazz, let's see, thrallsofmetal.com for our t-shirts. We still have other merch coming soon. Denver Death Fest is coming. It is coming. We are mere days away from releasing the list of bands. We've gotten super lucky on some bands that have decided to jump on the bill. I can't wait to talk about this some more. I can't say anything more right now because I am contractually bound not to. Please come back and join me for the rest of, I think I've got 25 more albums to go. So please come back and join me for 25 albums. As always, thank you very much for tuning in and watching. When I say we, it's just me because I'm down here by myself right now. I appreciate you all. I know Nick appreciates you all. The Thralls of Metal continue to grow, and we fucking adore it every time. I'm not going to keep talking. I'm going to get to these other albums so you can watch me on the struggle bus try to tell you about 25 more albums. So with that, take care.